I guess we're live. Let's see if we're live on YouTube yet. Not yet. All right, well, we're just going to chill for a second and wait. Chill for a second, wait for YouTube usually takes what, 30 or 60 seconds.
Kids shouldn't go
Oh,
hungry
there's
if they
the
don't have
ad.
enough money.
We're going to turn the volume on that down. And we're going to get rid of the ad. Looks like you guys can hear me, right? You guys can hear me. Okay. I'm just going to make sure the feed is working over here. A second advertisement. Is this what they do to you people? Oh my goodness. Okay, it looks like I'm there. Splendid. Couldn't ask for anything more. How's everybody doing tonight? Can we get our Denver Sucks in the chat, please? Can we get our Denver Sucks in the chat? And for those who are in the chat, can y'all calm the hell down? As you're fighting over an app, fighting over the Carrington app, for real though? Okay, if you say so. All right, let's not do this one though. Can we do this one? It's gonna throw me over there like a dumbass. Okay, fine. So, how's everybody doing this evening? Other than those of you who just felt like wiling out in the chat before the live stream got started, that was entertaining at very least. Real quick, the space weather topic of note, in addition to this incoming coronal hole, where is that? Right here. That incoming coronal hole right there is this bright thing right there, which is now just about in view. Just about in view. It has continued to be active. This is the 3-day look at the GOES X-ray flux. As you can see, solar flares are on the rise. We haven't hit M-class flare range yet, but it's detecting solar flares from behind the limb. Oh, you can't see this whole thing, can you? Of course you can't. I'm sorry about that. So down here, right down there, this is what we're talking about. Now, we're not quite even up into M-class flare range yet, but these are from the sunspots that are behind the limb. Okay? And just to give you an idea, this is the latest on HMI. You can see there's absolutely nothing up here. But remember, on SDO, the HMI instrument is consistently several hours behind AIA. So let's go ahead and pull up this. See that? Let me zoom in on that a little bit here. This is AIA 1600. As you can see, this is not the sunspot. This is the highly active area around the sunspot. Now let me swap. Keep your eyes on where that bright area is right at the limb. Swap to 171 angstroms, and you can see this is where the bright crackling arcs are. This is where the solar flares are occurring. This is where the big CMEs are erupting from. It has now gone pretty much all the way around the sun, and I'm willing to bet by the morning time, I don't know if we'll be able to see the first umbra yet, but I bet we see a lot more of that brightness. And by tomorrow night, like 24 hours from now, so not tomorrow morning's news, but yeah, I'd say about this time tomorrow, which would be about 8:30 at night in the eastern part of the United States. It's 6:30 here in Colorado. I think we'll see the umbra of that one. That's what we're looking for. Anyway, I am right now happily ignoring all trick-or-treaters for the first time ever. This is like the first year I don't have the kids. I'm very sad about that. And I knew I wanted to talk about some stuff because there's actually some important stuff going on. And if I don't have the kids, and if I know for a fact every other house here is giving out full-size candy bars, they'll be fine without me. I do want to say, though, that I am not completely outside of participating in Halloween. And I have to say, the last several years, I did not dress up to go to the gym on Halloween. And like 100 other people did. It's like a vibe. And nobody but me and the trainers today. Nobody but me and the trainers. I was so disappointed. All the trainers were dressed up. All of them do. But every year, I go in my normal clothes and there's a ton of people dressed up. Now, it just so happens there's nobody else in this picture. It was not a heavy cardio morning for people, I suppose. Not a lot of foresight for what they might be consuming later this evening. But anyway, the point is that there was probably about 40 or 50 people in Colorado Springs lifetime. And apart from the trainers, I was the only one in a costume. Can you tell I feel some kind of way about this? Anyway, okay. So, as you guys know, first of all, thank you all for all the chats and the super chats. You guys know I love the teal pairs. Katie Light, seriously, like you're getting the biggest hug ever. As soon as I see you, you're getting a huge hug. But as you guys know, we do a couple of the science updates, and then afterwards, we will open it up to the Q&A part of the program. So first one I wanted to hit was from a couple of days ago. Hopefully you guys remember this one. This is the effects of low to medium dose proton irradiation on gut microbiota in mice. Obviously not good. Several different problems that it creates for the microbiome of the mice. But it's not necessarily so much this dose of radiation or the specific proton radiation. We have seen this across the board, whether it's cosmic rays, whether it's electrons, whether it's varying magnetic fields, exposure to electric fields, or proton radiation. Whatever it is, a change in the electromagnetic environment is not good for any life on the planet. We have seen this not only for like in the microbiome, from the gut all the way up into the microbiome part that's in your mouth, but we've seen this for the microbes in the soil and in the ocean. We're talking about at the critical levels where phytoplankton and chlorophyll are like needing chemistry to be correct kind of stuff. Interestingly, it turns out that whole, if it warms just a little bit, they're all going to die, was complete nonsense. But if you change the electromagnetic environment such that it's too challenging for their life processes, then you've got an issue. And this is, of course, on top, like the entire problem of space radiation and the micro world in Earth's magnetic pole shift in this disaster cycle that we're in right now. This is on top of the fact that the radiation destroys the ozone preferentially. And so that extra UV harms life and changes the weather. Not to mention that the extra radiation that is destroying the ozone also harms life and changes the weather. It's a double dose of both, all while the magnetic poles are moving. The animals don't know where they're going, and it's a lot more than just birds for seasonal migration. It's for all kinds of migrations, but also foraging, finding reproductive zones. And we're talking tons of different mammals, tons of different marine creatures, from 1,000 different kinds of fish, turtles, whales, sharks, all of the crustaceans as well, insects, plants, omnivorous and herbivore mammals flee predators based on the magnetic field. The direction they are facing when they defecate is based on Earth's magnetic field. And so in addition to all of this, like, stuff that's going on, a double dose of climatological change, a double dose of direct radiation impact to the biology. You've got the animals not knowing where they're going for basically all of the reasons that they need to be going anywhere significant. And then you have the microbiome, and I'm sure there are some observers out there who understand the importance of the tiny life in the soil, in the ocean, in your gut, starting from your mouth all the way through. there's got to be some observers out there who understand the importance of the stability of the micro life for the stability and uh, success of us bigger life. And so all of us bigger life have those, the biological, the climatological, and the navigational challenges. Not to mention humans, we're electrodependent as a civilization. That's going away when the magnetic field gets weak enough. But then on top of that, the symbiotic micro life that we live with, and not just us, the plants, the animals, everything, it's all under attack from space radiation during this. And even though this paper was very narrow, very isolated, it's the kind of thing where like any observer could just read that title. And if they didn't understand what that title said, have somebody explain, oh, they're talking about proton radiation, exposure to radiation of the proton variety. And is this good or bad for their microbiome? Every observer is going to tell you this is not good. And I'm guessing there aren't a ton of MD observers out there listening right now who specialize in radiation of microbiology. Just guessing. Maybe there's one or two of you. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like you all got the point and why things like this are always excellent reminders of the bigger picture as I just described it. Up next. So this is, so we've had these two papers the last 3 days about the record-breaking aspects of the May 2024 solar storm. I'm not going to re-show the one from this morning. This is the one from 2 days ago. Essentially, the importance of these two papers was that what happened last year was bigger than some very important and notable storms of the past. Now, the paper from this morning, that data only goes back to 2002. So the most prominent storm in that time frame is the Halloween storm of 2003, 22 years ago. And this one here, this one goes all the way back to 1978. So it includes all of the big storms from the 90s as well. But more importantly, the 1989 Quebec blackout storm. Those were huge solar flares, titanic CMEs. Far bigger, far denser, far faster, far stronger of a magnetic field than what hit us last year. And yet what hit us last year rivaled the Carrington event in many, many ways. True enough, it acted approximately as expected when it came to the technological damage. And there was some. And there was a lot more disruption than there was damage. But in terms of the geomagnetic, the geophysical impact, I will pause for one moment. Aaron, we are supposed to be waiting till I'm done with the science section, but maybe you could let me know, since this is like the second or third time you've mentioned this, what are you so worried about with the deep sea CO2? Why would it be a bad thing if deep sea CO2 came out? We want more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That's a good thing. That would be the best thing I could imagine happening. Us putting more CO2 into the atmosphere is by far the best thing humans have ever done for the planet. I'll die on that hill. Pause. Over. And of course, guys, this. Now, here's the thing. If you were paying close enough attention, like for example, if you've been here long enough that you know what fly on the wall is and you were listening to it, if you have seen some of the discussions about the Radcliffe wave in our longer Q&As, My position has been that I am virtually certain that the Radcliffe wave is due to an interaction with the galactic current sheet. But as things stand right now, I can't prove that. Like I can prove a lot of other things. And I, honest to goodness, never thought I'd get it. In many ways, this paper is, for your life, practically meaningless. From an academic perspective, in my eyes, this is a top 5 paper of 2025 so far. The Parker instability of the galactic magnetic field. That is the galactic current sheet cutting through the central plane, is the reason for the wave type inhomogeneities in the galactic disk, such as the Radcliffe wave. And by the way, the Radcliffe wave is so freaking close to the solar system, and it took us so long to see it for what it was. Astronomers are virtually certain that things like the Radcliffe wave are probably everywhere, and the sun is probably part of a wave like that, and we just don't know it yet. All of the stars in the galaxy, in addition to the fact that they are going around, they have an up and down like this. And it has long been thought that this is just a random trajectory in orbital mechanics over time, astrometry. These things ride up and down, perturbed by the galactic current sheet. This is, from a galactic perspective, this is as big of a story as when they said, we finally have an answer to the great problem of galactic physics, which was that all of the models said the galactic current sheet should stop halfway through the galaxy. It shouldn't be able to go any further than that. But every single time they were able to measure one and spot one, it went beyond the visible spiral of stars. That's quite the predicament. And they found that the only way it would work would be if massive solar outbursts could be injected directly into the current sheet at all these different stars, just slid right, boom, right at the exact moment to insert that energy into the current sheet, such that the, quote, electromagnetic buoyancy, end quote, could be sustained. And the galactic current sheet could go all the way through the galaxy. That was at the APS Physics Conference in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the University of Pittsburgh. And it just so happened, it's like, wait a minute, all right, so you mean, like, for example, if the current sheet did stuff like trigger a micronova or super flares, that would be the only way to get enough buoyancy to actually explain what we observe and explain why our models fail and our math fails? You mean if, like, the current sheet triggers micronova at that exact moment to put that energy directly into the current sheet, that's what's needed to fix galactic physics? This is on the same level as that for me. The Radcliffe wave is one of the most exciting galactic discoveries of the decade. And no, Richard, Jun-Ho did not send me my model. Apparently, he's having I'm going to pause again. Jun-Ho, for those who don't know, there's this thing happening on X right now where everybody who follows me on X pretty much also follows the ethical skeptic and knows that we have different ideas about how the tilt of Earth is going to happen. And we don't disagree on anything else. And we're very good friends. He's coming to the ranch this summer. It's going to be a hell of an event. That one's going to sell out quickly. But for those of you on X, you also know that there's this guy, Jun-Ho, and he is making these amazing 3D visualizations and simulations of the tsunamis but he's only doing Ethical Skeptic's version, and he just refuses to do my version. I love this guy's animations. They're amazing. All I want for Christmas is John Ho to do my version of the tilt. I tweeted that yesterday. So if somehow John Ho sees this, one, I love you. You're doing an amazing job. And like, I'm not like mad or frustrated. I'm just being animated. This is how I am. So the other thing is, I understand that this video is flipped for you, so this is going to look a little stupid. But all right, so we're going to put some fingers there because you can't just use one finger with a globe this big in the Bay of Bengal. And your other fingers are going to go off the coast of Peru, like this. All right, now I know that this is flipped for you, but hopefully you can see North America there. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the Bay of Bengal and put it at the North Pole, just like that. I'll back up a little bit and do that again. That's the tilt. You can do that with the globe, and then, you know, if you want to look at a different part of the world, okay, just hold it a little differently and put Bay of Bengal up at the top. That's all you got to do is move the Bay of Bengal directly up to the North Pole, and you're visualizing the tilt. You can hardly see me. Oh, I'm sorry about that. All right, well, hey, how about I do this? I will do that one more time, okay? I will do that one more time. No, that's fair. That's fair. All right, so Bay of Bengal on one side, there on the other. And just on the other side, my hand is on the Bay of Bengal. I'm just going to move that to the North Pole. There you go. That's what it is. This is what we are now. That's where we're going. Anyway, couple other things. So obviously tomorrow's self-defense. I think this dude is going to be roughing me up pretty good. I think I'm going to be the crash test dummy for everything. So that's going to be fun. If you guys are able to come out to the end of the rookie season at Observer Ranch, it'll be worth it for sure. But also, here is the basic. I'm going to show you the basic schedule for Observer Ranch next year. There's nothing you can do about it right now. There's nothing you can do about it until we officially release the events and you can sign up for the events. But what you can do is sort of block it off in your head that this is something you might want to do. And I'm going to take a moment to do this because, honestly, I think that we're going to be getting all those events made up just before the documentary goes public. And, you know, for all we know, it's going to be a slow movement of this. But if it's not, it's going to be hard to get in to the ranch. Or at least it could be hard to actually get tickets to these events. And it would be a shame if there was nothing but noobs at them. I need you. I need you guys there. It helps. Anyway, so this is what's happening next year. The blue and the red are recurring events. They happen approximately once a month. And the other ones in black, these are the ones that are kind of special events. The season opener with Adrian D'Amico. We have some interesting ideas about UFOs or USOs, as has been the case recently, and their prevalence to be observing disasters. The preparing to survive and master the disaster, those are basically what they sound like. Master the disaster is half, all of the information you need to know about the pole shift, and then a lot of survival training. Preparing to survive is an entire thing on survival training. The two back-to-back weekends in the ending of April here. The August Dunning is going to be here for 2 weeks in a row. Echoes in Time, that's basically a micronova focused conference. And then the weekend after that, Phoenix Protocol. We're going to do a dry fast at the ranch all together, supporting each other, keeping each other on point, etc. Ethical skeptic. That's the first week of May. Again, there's nothing you can do about it yet except try to block it off on your schedule or something. This is going to be an important thing. I'm going to try to film it. None of these are going to be live. Okay. Live stream is too many problems. We're going to try to film as much as we can, but this one especially because we're going to have a probably very friendly discussion about the way in which the earth turns over. This is interesting. So it turns out that not only is my transformation from fat AF Ben to this has actually been inspirational to some people, but the formula has worked for quite a lot of you. And it turns out that, yeah, this formula can work for a lot of people. And I can transform you as well. The other thing I want to mention, this is going to be so fun. If you've got, like a family, you got to come out to this, because another thing I've been doing, I have been acutely aware that I have never been able to appropriately answer, how do you talk to your children about this? There is not only is there going to be a section in here for your kids, like it's the Sun for kids. There's going to be kids events all weekend for the entire thing. But on top of that, there's going to be a preparing without scaring section. How to ease your kids into this at various ages, how to even have some of the discussions, how to start getting them prepped and getting them survival skills without them even understanding what's going on. I've heard you. I apologize that I have not been able to do much to help you parents. I've been working on it, okay? I've been working. For those of you who are on X, by the way, and you know who Chris Martz is, whoa. Yeah. I told you 18 months ago when I found this kid, this is the future of fighting climate nonsense. And he has not disappointed in the last 18 months. By this point, I imagine that new paper of his is going to be out, and he will be known everywhere for all of the excellent work he does. But if you're into the climate stuff as well, put it this way. In the future, people will talk about Chris Martz like they talk about Dr. Roy Spencer. Like they talk about Dr. Christie at the University of Alabama. Like they talk about Richard Lindzen. Like they talk about Will Happer. Okay? If he starts talking more about the Sun, like they talk about Brian Tinsley. This guy can be anything he wants in this game. Anything he wants. And he's coming. The other Master the Disaster and Preparing to Survive dates are here down at the bottom. Essentially, the point is, yeah, come out, see us, please. We want to see you. Of course, also, a fun thing to do would be come out and see me for the winter tour. Omaha, Nebraska is 29 days away. 2 weeks later, it'll be San Diego, California. A month later, we are in Orlando, Florida. Dallas, Texas. After that, 5 weeks on February 21st. And then we are closing out the winter tour March 7th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Woo! Hello. And as always, folks, I hope you guys know we've got the premiere of our documentary coming up. And the reason why nobody is going to have to pay a cent or download or use a streaming service like Netflix or anything else like that is because of goldobservers.com. They're still doing their match in silver. Obviously, if you're paying attention, gold and silver are doing okay right now. They're on a little bit of a run. Obviously, as things begin to collapse, they are barter rich. And even in the disaster, as I say every time, if you really know your stuff, gold and silver, there's a reason why they've been valuable long before any kind of financial system existed. Silver, you get a cut, you put silver on it, it starts releasing antimicrobial ions. You put a clean piece of silver in like a water jug or a water container, you increase the chances. You never 100% guarantee, but you increase the chances that water stays pathogen free like 200x, something like that. So this stuff is useful now. It's useful on the descent, and it's useful in the aftermath. Why not keep it in the family with observers? Goldobservers.com. Now, we are going to slide right back into this, and I'm going to make myself bigger like I do at the gym every morning. And then when I make the steak and the eggs and et cetera, et cetera. Too much red? I don't care. So, questions. I will try my best to answer them. Let's do it. Where will it be streaming? On YouTube. I'm going to try to also have like a dedicated like page for it that like is easy to remember, so you don't have to like get a link. Like, wouldn't it be nice to be like, oh, just go to blankblank.com, But stuff like that is easy. And like once the movie and all the other stuff are in place, I can do that in a day. That's easy. And I'll probably just have Adrian do it. If you're listening, Adrian, I'm just going to have you do that, okay? Yeah. Didn't we get some URLs just in case? I think we did. Watch, he's not even here right now. Hi, Birdie. How you doing? Yeah, so where's all the questions, by the way? Copper is going to go through the roof in about 2 or 3 years. Quite possible. Quite possible. Best gold is found gold. Or gold that your mommy sends you because she knows you like chains. Birthday. For those who don't know, it was my birthday 10 days ago. Bro, super chat won't let me flip you off. Is that Joe? That's Joe. Joe, did you see when you first entered the chat earlier, I posted one? Use the GIF. Or the super chat won't let you do it. All right, well, hey, man. Right back at you. I love you, man. It was so good to see you the other weekend. Hello from Ireland. Well, hello right back at you, Lisa. Could you make the YouTube version ad-free? What? Are you related to Mr. T? Absolutely. He's my twin brother. I mean, is that not plainly obvious? Hey, Ben, how are you? Well, I'm still here. I'm still operating as designed. Are there any discounts at the hotels? I don't know. You could stay here at the ranch, which is cheaper than a lot of the hotels. Were those Far Side CMEs Carrington events? No, but they would have caused some big big geomagnetic storms. Where was the Earth 15,000 years ago? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by where was the Earth 15,000 years ago? I don't know what that means. Can one find real-time total solar irradiance data? I hope not, because we're using solar spectral irradiance data now because TSI is useless. How far ahead of time does it correlate? Could this not help give us warnings or too short? No. To be honest, TSI has been the most damaging thing. It doesn't really tell us much of anything. And the reliance on it is the reason why the sun hasn't gotten the respect it deserves in the climate discussion. In fact, it was just the other day I was showing that just the move to solar spectral irradiance takes the change in irradiance from 0.1% over the solar cycle to over 1% over the solar cycle. That's very significant. Not to mention the fact that when you factor in the protons and the solar wind and the geomagnetic activity and the X-rays and the extreme ultraviolet, we can be getting 10, 100, 1,000x. And so, yeah. I don't know of anywhere that does it real time. Shit. LASP in Colorado has the closest to real time that there is. LASP. That they have the closest to real time that it is. You cokehead. Yeah, no. Why must we watch the orange ball? You were better before this. The fuck? I don't know. You guys don't like the sun here? You guys don't want the sun here? You guys want me to go back to like something like that? Or how do we do this here? How do I swap this? I don't know how to swap these things. All right, I could stop the screen sharing and just do this. Is this better? Are you happy now? Hotels at the winter tour events. Oh, not that I'm aware of. I was thinking most of the people would probably be local. Um, hmm. Besides, in order to get that, I have to like guarantee them a certain number of rooms sold. And like, I don't like, what if everybody, like Orlando, virtually all the people going to Orlando are from Orlando. I'm glad I didn't guarantee them any number of rooms sold for that one. Why are you not on Nick for Winter's show? I don't know what that means. Why are you not on Nick for Winter's show? I don't. Where could I buy your book? You can't. You can come to the ranch. We've got a couple extras. Ben, I'm at an adult Halloween party and everyone is yelling at me to get off my phone. Huh. Tell them to shut the fuck up. You're busy, and this is important. I pity the fool who interrupts your watching of the observers. The Space Weather News. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you all have a lovely time. Do you think the moon remains stationary when Earth tilts? I don't know. I will tell you, Ed Leeds Skolnin thought that the Earth came closer, that the moon halved its distance and then moved back out immediately. I don't know what he based that on. Don't put that one on me, but Ed Leeds Skolnin ain't nobody. So there's that. Holy good Lord. Lucky Black. That one crossed the line. The sun is probably going to take out the grid in the next few years. We need to worry about the digital gulag being pushed. Need we worry about the digital gulag being? I don't worry about it that much. I'm going to do my best to maneuver around it. If they want to make it so that CBDCs or something like that is mandatory, we're not going to have an option. Keep as much stuff as you can. If the lights go out, that will have value that you can barter, like silver and gold and bullets and other food and services and other things like that. But if they really, really want to make this thing happen, there's nothing we're going to do about it. Just wait for the sun to save us. Tolerate it. Survive it as long as you can. Did you think this is going to be easy? That you were just going to be able to slide past and evade every terrible thing between now and the fucking micronova? You're going to have to suffer some of it. Yeah. You're going to have to suffer some of it. Okay. You could maneuver around the jab. Okay. Some of the stuff, you're just going to have to suck it up and be like, no, okay, I'm going to win anyway. Bring it. Give me everything you got. It's nothing. I can take it. And that's the mindset you've got to have when that happens. Scrolling. Samurai, thank you. That's very nice. Appreciate that. Down 20 pounds since cut month. Yeah, Jeff. All in carnivore red light therapy. Have you looked into peptides? I have looked into peptides. I am trying my best not to get too into that game. And like a lot of it's tempting. Like the BPC whatever for healing could really help my shoulder. Low dose testosterone at age 41 wouldn't be the worst thing ever. I mean, I'm kind of like a miniature gorilla right now. I'd love to see what I'm capable of at this age. Probably would never go to juice. But man, I'm trying my best to stay away. It's very enticing. Scrolling. Leslie, thank you for the pair. Oh, the hippo. Thank you, Samurai. That's 2. All right, I'm still scrolling. I'm sorry. I'm catching up right now. Susie Rose Finley, our resident Viking, says, could the Radcliffe wave be considered like an ocean swell in the galactic current sheet? I'm trying to understand the relationship between them. Lots of hotels in Las Vegas. Book early. Live like a Viking. Essentially, if the stars are just orbiting based on orbital dynamics and gravity and other things like that, there should be some up and down motion as it goes around in the circle around the central part of the galaxy. But there is an extra velocity up and down. And we also saw that there's an extra velocity towards the center of the galaxy. And so that one I explained by the extra electrostatic force transmuted and translated through the current sheet. But the extra up and down motion, which is responsible for the Radcliffe wave, there's nothing else that could be but the galactic current sheet, which is what they're saying when they're saying the Parker instability of the galactic magnetic field, which runs through the galactic central disk plane. Okay, fine. Call it whatever the hell you want. You say tomato, I say galactic current sheet. Well, fuck yourself. Susie, can't wait to see you in Lay again, by the way. All right, I'm scrolling. I'm catching up. I promise. Actually, I promise nothing, but I actually am scrolling. Okay, it appears I've caught up. What kind of questions do we have down here? Peptides are great. There won't be enough room once we get you peptiding. Maybe, I don't know. Can I have a birthday cake? I don't know. What? I don't know. Dear Antler Velvet is pretty strong for testosterone. I've heard that. Velvet Antler is a heck of a thing, though. Ben, what is your total weight loss from 10 years ago? So if I can go with my bottom at the cut rate weight from early this year, I'm in a bulk at the moment, and I'm going freaking hard. Earlier this year, I hit 150, which means I lost 90 pounds from my peak. Now, right now, I'm about 167, and I don't like the fact that the middle part of me looks a little less shredded. You can still see the abs, and everybody is saying, Ben, you look much healthier like this. And I'm like, fuck you. I liked it better the other way. But yeah. I think about 165 to 175 is where I need to be hovering. I don't know what the hell that has to do with anything, but thank you for asking, Carl. Oh, did I miss one? I did. Undercover Bird says how to make myself valuable. There's lots of ways to be valuable. But you're valuable just the way you are. Your hugs and your smile is wonderful. But I'm sure you've got a lot more to offer than that, Birdie. I'm 65 next month. What are my chances of surviving? Do I want to? You decide what your chances of surviving are, and yes, you do. None of SO can keep up. We are marginal now. I don't know what that means. Seeing abs ain't really important. That's not what the girls say. I'll tell you what. They all say, "Oh, we don't care that much. We don't care that much." If you believe that, you've never been single with abs. With water coming from the Gulf, would western edge of the continental divide be okay with elevation or better on the eastern edge of the divide? Um, so west is obviously better than east when we're talking about this stuff. I think a lot of Montana will be okay. Um, I would prefer the higher areas in Montana. There's areas for the water to go. I just don't know how fast it's going to be rising and coming at that point. I really don't know. David Weatherly, good to hear. You're in the serious cabin. That's cool. If that is the case, I will see you tomorrow. Undercover bird. Dude, I'm 110 pounds, so you basically lost me. Yes, you are tiny. I could have picked you up and just carried you around on my shoulder, Birdie. Do we have any questions about like the sun or Earth's disaster cycle? No, I'm not coming to Atlanta this winter. Sorry about that. All right, I guess we don't have any questions about the disaster. People are 20% more attractive than they see themselves in the mirror. Fascinating. Okay, there we go. Now I'm caught up. What happens to all the nuke power plants during disaster cycle seems like an issue for the survivors. A lot of them will have issues, but it'll be more of a direct contamination of the water there and the local area there. Um, you know, I was as worried as anybody else when Fukushima went off. They have been testing fish every single day since March 11th, 2011, in the Pacific. They have never once found a fish that has more radiation in it than a banana. You could eat fish out of the Pacific every day for the rest of your life, and your dosage increase of radiation would be less than smoking one cigarette. Don't go playing around in the goo. Don't live right next to one. But honestly, I think that the nuclear scare scam video, there's some truth to that. I don't think it's as bad in all the ways that as they say it is. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Ben, it's a must. Magic 8 ball for the future we can't see. Want to make God laugh? Tell him your plans for tomorrow. Lauren, you expect me to look that up right now in the middle of the show? I don't have my Bible sitting here. This is my recording studio. The Bible is actually on the dining room table, and it's not supposed to be there. It's just convenient to leave it there as opposed to putting it away and going and getting it and putting it away and going and getting it, especially because the kids just eat at the damn table in the kitchen and not at the dining room table. So it doesn't really actually matter what's on the dining room table, which is this is something from my childhood coming out because we never used the fucking dining room table. It was just there. It was just there and gorgeous and perfect. And we never used it. We ate at the stupid table in the kitchen. But no, we couldn't go in there. We couldn't sit there. We couldn't do work there. We couldn't put stuff on that table. We couldn't play in the dining room. I'm going to leave my Bible on the dining table. Hi. Seems risky to store all supplies at home given the rush of fire after the grid down event. Worth storing a portion somewhere off site. Jeff Grimes, that's a very good point. I like that. Ben, how do you plan on sealing up the entrance to your underground shelters? Who says I'm going to seal up the entrance to my underground shelters? I mean, I'm not like watertight and airtight sealing. There's going to be a door, but I'm not going crazy or anything like that. Did you guys like that from my childhood? Yeah, it was fun. While Yellowstone won't be a big thing, how far away should we stay from local dangers? Depends what the local danger is. There are some volcanoes where it's just like, just don't be on the downslope. There's other ones where it's like, stay clear a little bit, I say do a practical analysis where you're basically coming up with a new you're analyzing each situation pragmatically, which means one at a time, as they come, as you find them, as they apply to you. And I'm saying that because I got all the way to college without knowing what pragmatic meant. So, what event started you noticing solar flares? You're right. Sorry, brother. No, it's cool, Norin. I'm going to try to remember that and look it up later. I heard 2 sets of gunshots last night. That's interesting. When I'm at the ranch, I hear them all day. Because there's a gun range across the street. If you want to come visit us at the ranch and, also, hey, practice your shooting. Does anybody else's sciatica act up during geomagnetic events? If I had it, it definitely would. Why is my heart palpitating? Are the CMEs here? No. Saul, that's me. Hey, Ben, I'm 17. Uh-oh. I've been watching for 2 years and learning a lot. I wish I could meet you one day, and maybe I will. I just want to say thanks for all you do. Logan, where are you from? Putting you on screen, bro. Where are you from, Logan? Where you at? Wouldn't it be great to get this kid out to the ranch? I don't even know if he's there. How much to get into gun range across the way from Observer Ranch? I actually don't know. When I want to shoot, I just go to the back of the property and shoot. But no, you can't do that. So, Minnesota. Logan's school is very important, and that happens to be going on right now. But why don't you send us an email through observerranch.com? Maybe there's something we could do this summer. Young guy like you? Absolutely. Look into MOTC and NAD+. So I do NAD+ every morning. I don't know what MOTC is, but I do NAC every night, NAD first thing in the morning. And if I shaved, you'd be able to see I look younger than I did last time. Yeah, I saw the Minnesota thing. But yeah, Logan, go ahead and shoot us an email. We'll try to stay in touch. What brand gel do you use for your hair? This is hairspray. I've always been a fan of hairspray. I don't like gel. Appreciate the work you do. I appreciate you saying that. Oh, Ben, I'm married. Oh, darn. Go fund Logan. Yeah. My son is 14 and loves you. He's preparing thanks to his mama. Well, of course, he's your son. All right. Something tells me Logan's going to be visiting Observer Ranch next summer. Something just tells me that. When are you coming to the Midwest for a talk? Well, the closest I'll be this winter is Omaha in 29 days. It's looking like at some point next year. Hold on. I don't think you're going to see this if I look at this. It's looking like Kat actually booked a wedding at Observer Ranch the first weekend in October of next year. And if that's the case, I may hold an event, not really in the Midwest. I may go home. I may go to Pittsburgh. I have not been home in a very long time. I bleed black and gold, but I have not set foot in many moon. Anyway, all right, guys. That was fun. Will you please share the pics you receive from women? No, I can't do that. I really, really can't do that. And ladies, um, like super appreciated. Like some of them are quite uh, wonderful and shocking. You really don't need to send me stuff like that. Or you could just keep doing it. I really don't care. It's not like I'm like, oh my God, oh no. I'm usually like, oh shit, nice. What do you want me to say? Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the morning for the daily show. Be safe, everyone.